You're doing SEO, but is it even working? Hi there, my name is Dave Burnett. I own aokmarketing.com, promotionalproducts.com, and co-founder of achievers.com, which sold back in 2015 for $110 million. So how SEO really works and how long it takes. SEO isn't one thing, it's actually two, and both have to work together to win Google's trust and attention. The two things are on-page and off-page. On-page SEO. You basically have to think of on-page SEO as rolling out the red carpet for Google. You got to make sure that it's got a clear site structure that makes Google bots able to crawl your site. So just in case you didn't know, Google's got lots of little programs out there running around the internet. It's kind of creepy when you think about it, but run around the internet, crawling your site, which means indexing what is there and putting it in their database. In order to be able to do that, you need a clear site structure. Google the machine and Google's bots are computer programs. They operate in hierarchical structures, and basically, this page leads to that page leads to that page. So you got to kind of set up your site to win. Second thing is relevant keywords. You need to have information and keywords that you're targeting that are aligned with what people are searching for. So if, for example, you sold coffees and frappuccinos and whatever else may be, it doesn't make sense for you on your site to have information about the local weather or a tree type or something like that. So you got to make it aligned with what you do and what people are searching for. Third thing, remember Google the machine again? Google the machine only has so much information that it will actually use associated with your website because it has what's called a crawl budget. So Google, with all these different things, will only stay on your site for so long crawling it to understand what it's about. So you want to make it as easy as possible to have it crawl your site. One of the ways that you do that is with links. So in your text, in your content, you want to link to other pages. And so that actually makes it easier to crawl. More ways for Google the machine to index your site. If it finds you through a particular blog post and that blog post is linked to others, it can find and crawl its way around your site and make things a lot easier. Now, the fourth main thing is fast loading, mobile friendly, user first design. So we talked about off page and on page. Now, the other thing that's kind of unspoken, but really needs to be taken into account of is on page and what that looks like from a user perspective. So you got to build stuff for Google the machine, but you got to build it for the users too. So mobile friendly, Google's been crawling websites mobile first since 2018. So you got to make sure your site is mobile friendly. And then it's also user friendly on that side of things. The easier your site is to understand from Google the machine's perspective, the more favorably Google will see it. Now, off page. So off page is mostly talking about links. And so Google wants to kind of know if the rest of the internet vouches for you. They think it's a worthwhile site. They think it's good quality content. So the way that you influence that is making sure that you get backlinks from credible other sites. And so you can do that through PR outreach, making sure that you get mentions in forums, Reddit and whatever else, social, making sure that if you have listings online, that you're correctly set up in directories, and then also in brand searches. So this is the interesting thing. Do people actually search for you, for your brand name? The more searches that actually happen directly for you with a brand name, the more Google trusts your site. This builds authority, but this takes time. So this is the question. How long does it take? SEO, honestly, is a long game. You got to budget at least a year. And that's crazy to think about. SEO is slow by design. Google already has websites in its index that are ranking for the keywords that you want to rank. It doesn't just want to boost up the latest, greatest thing and knowing that people will game the system. It rewards consistency, authority, and user satisfaction over time. So what does that mean? Basically, consistently posting, having unique content, and then user satisfaction is usually measured through bounce rates and time on site and those kinds of things that Google Analytics will be able to tell you when you install it. So here's a rough timeline. Say your site hasn't been ranking well. I'm assuming you have a site of some kind. You need to make sure months kind of 0 through 3 that you're set up properly and available for indexing, and you install Google Search Console and submit a sitemap. So all those things are a lot of things, but we can dig into that if you want. 4 to 6 months, you'll start to see some early movement. Keywords start to rank. And so we use a bunch of different keyword tracking tools. An easy one is SEMrush, but it's really, you got to keep track of this. So you'll see keywords start to appear in like page 7, 70th on the list. And you get no traffic or very little traffic, but they'll start to move up and you'll start to see them. You're just not on page 1 yet. 6 to 12 months, you'll start to see some real traction, assuming you're being consistent and everything is looking good and you're able to be indexed and you're earning authority. you will start to see some real traction. You'll begin to earn that trust and authority, and you'll start to see some traffic. You'll start to get on page one. And then 12 plus months, you'll start to see momentum. Results will compound. SEO will become your most profitable acquisition channel. And the reason why I can say that with confidence is because we've seen it happen over the years. I mean, SEO, bottom line, is not magic and it's not fast. But if you're consistent, creating relevant content, building real links, making your site easy to crawl, it will pay off over time. It's just not overnight. So expect at least a year. If you stay the course, SEO will become your best salesperson, working 24/7, no commission required. So thank you very much for watching. Hope that was a little bit helpful, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.